Alright, so welcome back. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fabulous day here today. We are back with some pretty good stuff. As you all know, the new update is now live. Make sure to hop in and have some fun with it. The new side story has now also gone live. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. I'll talk about more general parts of the side story. I still recommend that before watching that end part of the video, maybe watch the side story. But again, I'm keeping it very bare bones. I'm not trying to leak too much here. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I still want to talk about it because it does give you a few reveals that you kind of want, and it might really lean towards the Annie being a double banner, or at bare minimum, a character following after that a lot of you are really looking forward to. So I want to make that clear here today, so you plan accordingly and prepare accordingly. But new to the channel, like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. We also got to talk about that poll draw because it's going crazy, man. Here we go. So first we'll begin over here. If you guys have been curious on how the poll's turning out, this is like actual war. It would be the coolest thing in the world if Shift Up steps up and says, you know what, because this is the first time ever in 3 years of the game it was this close, let's go and do both skins. That would be like the coolest thing ever. Have a sort of dual event. I think for the most part they wouldn't do that because they're going to lose a lot of money by not releasing a skin that's paid for both characters. They already released one for like Cinderella, so I don't really see an issue, but you know, they'll be like that. I know kind of how things go, but it would be super cool. Shift Up, consider it. You know, it would be cool. But yeah, pretty much this is what the poll is looking like right now. As you can kind of see here, Nikke's are dropping, but you know who's rising? Bro, Isabel is making hard progression. Hard progression. She is passing left and right Nikke's out here. That is like the coolest thing. That's like the #1 thing. Dude, damn. It's like this solo push of Isabel, bro. Oh, my alt accounts are doing it, right? I'm kidding around, chill. Rouge over here. We do have a lot of, again, Nikke's over here. Sadly, some of the newer ones that like released like pretty recently, this like last few months, they're not as popular as most. Like Brady is the most popular recent Nikke apparently, which is kind of cool. That's kind of how that is, but sadly, it looks like these ones over here are sort of knocked out of the running permanently. I don't think there's a comeback because you can kind of see here, 84, but it's gapped by 93 and 139. So I think the top 5 is kind of established here. The crazy thing is Cinderella lost to Roppy now. So 4 more days. Can Cinderella make it? This is the big talk, the big question. Can Cinderella end up overtaking Roppy? And how is this entire process going to go? I am so curious, but officially over here, Roppy has taken the lead now from yesterday. Yesterday was Cinderella in the lead by a good 5,000. Now the biggest gap yet, 30,000 votes are the is the new gap between, again, Roppy Red Hood and Cinderella, which is insane. That's exactly like, you know, compared to what it was that 5,000. You know, it's a pretty hefty increase. So remember, I tell you this always, it's the power of second place. What that means is, because a Nikke is in second place, that gets the community fired up to where it's like, we're going to push that up. But the ones in first place get complacent. They're like, you know, I don't got to vote. She's first place. She's won it. So I wouldn't be shocked if today, like, Cinderella pushes up. I don't know if she can pass, but I know that she can definitely push up here. Because remember, Roppy Red Hood got 5,000 and then 30,000 on top of that, making that progression. So anything's possible here. It's still anybody's game, but my comments literally on my other channel where I'm uploading like some other stuff right now, my gotcha channel, right? It was a vegan Black Beacon video that I published yesterday, and everyone was commenting. Like, the comments weren't even about Black Beacon. It was about vote Roppy. The Roppy propaganda made it to my other channel. Dude, it's like, it also made it to my MHA channel. It made it there too. I'm like, what the hell? Someone said vote Roppy. I'm like, how the hell? So it's been progressing. The Roppy propaganda has been progressing. I didn't see the Cindy propaganda as much. Okay, I've seen more Roppy Red Hood propaganda. So very curious on how this goes. But again, it's still anybody's game. All right, second place, if you want Cindy, you better step up. And first place, if you really want your Roppy Red Hood to win, you better move. All right. So that's where we're currently at. But they did kick up special voting, so make sure to vote. You can now vote for your favorite Rapture. You can also, I don't know if they've shown it, but you can also now vote for your favorite costume. That's the next one. You can vote for whichever costume you liked. Make sure to vote for a proper costume that's like a lot of like or good in your opinion that you may or that they may see and be like, hey, people like this costume. Let's keep printing the costume or making costumes similar to it. That can again make some money and also hype up the player base based on the costume design. So plan accordingly. That's the first topic. Let's hop into side story time, okay? There might be some spoilers ahead, but I'm not going to go too in-depth in spoilers. Not much, just an overall brief talk, so you're aware that they can easily go down this road, all right? So over here, this is what we have. We have the side story update. Little Mermaid has fallen into the sea once again, drifting to a remote beach. It was there. A young girl came to her rescue. That was the, again, entire thing that we have. Pretty much most of you would get spoiled anyways if you play this, if you haven't played chapter 32, because chapter 32 has like a few things that would connect into this perfectly. So just keep that in mind also before you play the story. It'll warn you in game, but just make that clear. So in the story, pretty much we learn who the little girl is. If you don't want to know who the little girl is, obviously this is going to be part of the spoiler, but we knew it. Once we obviously read that chapter 32 story, which again, if you're playing the side story, you'll know who that is. That character was obvious. That was almost perfect that we could have guessed it, because that little girl can only be one person, or that young girl can only be one person. That person being, yes, Leviathan. Leviathan is the character 1,000,000,000% that was there in the entire story. On top of that, this entire side story was similar to what they did with Crown. Remember, Modernia was a big part of the actual Crown story. She was in the side story. Same thing's going to happen this time. Leviathan's going to be a major part of this new anniversary story. And you have Siren, who's going to be a major part of the story. In my opinion, she is guaranteed to be a release character. So you have one release character. The big thing is, at the end of the story, you do get a little nod at somebody else who exists. And yes, Mahara is part of the next event. They kind of just show Mahara talking for a few seconds and then pretty much fade to black. But what happened? Mahara is part of the next event as well. Now, Leviathan, Mahara, and over here, Siren, 3 major characters happening at one time being part of that major event. Again, with the previous anniversary, the speculation stands. Can this be a double banner? They could do Overspec Mahara plus Mermaid. They could do Mermaid plus Leviathan. They could also, don't even like, I'm not trying to like give shit of ideas here, but they can release Mermaid, Leviathan afterwards, 2 weeks into it, like Grave, and they can release Mahara right after. She doesn't have to be an overspec. There's no rule that states she has to be an overspec, so it could be triple banner insane, pop off, and then still in the summer. So, and that can happen, right? They've given you some breaks here and there. People said Crust was mid. People said Brady wasn't what they were looking for here and there. People said that like the maids weren't cutting it for them. So you had a lot of skips theoretically. Now it's time for milking. You know what I mean? They're gonna release Siren. What is it? 2 weeks into it, like Grave, right? Over here, Leviathan, maybe Mahara, or again, Mermaid, Mahara, or who freaking knows? None of it happens, right? That's always a thing that I want to make clear here. But a lot of the speculation is leaning towards that, and a lot of people are just thinking that the way this story was like built up and everything, she's gonna be a major part, like Grave was. She's a major part of that story. It just feels that they can, if they want to, release Leviathan and get away with it. So. Or do you one better? It could be Mermaid, free unit Leviathan, and that one leak was not right, or that one leak is not yet a character, maybe a banner and such, and then the banner behind that is Mahara, right? So Mermaid, Mahara, free Leviathan, and that other character that got leaked a while ago is whatever. Who knows? So very, very crazy story. Some really good confirmations and such. Again, this next story, this anniversary story is going to be a big focus on Siren, a big focus on Mahara, a big focus on Leviathan. These 3 characters finally getting some culmination or some at least continuation of where they were and how things are going. So it's, again, a very, very big thing there. They did reveal a new boss and such, or a boss that will probably be there for this the Solar Raid and such, for the Annie, which is a giant thing you'll see. I won't spoil that at least. But yeah, that is there, so hopefully I left it as spoiler free as possible, I think. I hope. I just said that again, like everyone knew Mahara was going to be a part of it, the main story next time, and then we kind of knew that Leviathan was the main character of this one, and it was true. Like the first second you click on the event, bro, it's like I think Leviathan's bug is like right there. So the first second you're spoiling it yourself by looking at that first second, but that's it. So we'll see what happens here, but a lot of people are speculating that it is a double banner. I'll make it clear, it does not have to be, and I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but remember, people didn't go into that Grave update with the knowledge of a second banner being a thing, okay? And they got screwed. They got screwed for it. So I'm warning you. They did a 3rd banner last year for the collaboration. They did a 2nd banner for the Annie. Who knows? Maybe it's a norm now. Do a 2nd banner over here for half Annie, right? Just saying. So whatever it is, this update did confirm a few things, major plot points for these characters. So be ready for it. It also solidified the fact that, yeah, it's almost certainly 109%, literally guaranteed to be Mermaid for Annie. It's like guaranteed now. The entire story was for her mainly, with the side of Leviathan. It's almost guaranteed. It literally is guaranteed, all right? So do what you will with that information. Take care, have fun. It's been it from me.